My name is Jens Matthies, I'm the creative director at Machine Games, and we're working on Wolfenstein: The New Order.
The world was forced into submission. They took our freedom. Tore down what took centuries to build. They terrorized the world with their power.
We started this project in October of 2010 when we joined up with Bethesda. So that's when pre-production started, and we've been rolling on it ever since. So Machine Games has its roots in another company called Starbreeze Studios, where we worked for a long time, and in 2009 we broke out and we started Machine Games. A typical working day for me at Machine Games is I try to make it there on time, first of all. I was never a morning person, but it's gotten a little bit better with age. And then, sometimes we have a meeting in the morning, get those out of the way, go through all of the emails that has arrived overnight, and then we start, it so depends on what phase you're in. So if you're early on, if you're doing pre-production, it's a lot of, getting together, because we have sort of like a creative collective where we each have representatives from all of the different areas of development, and we get together and we, come up with what we want to do. If it's later on when we're in production, it may be, I spend a lot of time out of the office doing performance capture recordings, that kind of thing. And in the phase we are in now, which is putting everything together, it's just about coordinating people so everybody knows what they're supposed to do and solving all of the problems that occurred when we had a brilliant idea, but it turned out not to be working. So fixing all of those things. We work a lot with the narrative in our games and trying really hard to make this seamless blend of really strong drama, where things are meaningful, you care about people, it's funny, it's intense, it's sad, it's all of these things, but marry that to a really tight gameplay experience. We want to honor the legacy of Wolfenstein, and what made those old school id Software shooters great. But obviously times have changed since then, and there's a lot of things that have evolved in the first-person shooter genre over the years. Some of the game is just the best of both worlds, trying to make it feel really old school, but at the same time familiar to people who are used to the more modern-day shooters. We look at the game as more of an action-adventure than a straight-up shooter. So it's more along the lines of what Naughty Dog are doing, or Irrational. It's that kind of experience, but it's very high intensity in terms of the fighting. We have a huge amount of variation in the game, so each level has its own personality, its own style, and oftentimes its own game mechanics. And it's very, very big. So just making sure that all of those moments are really polished and strong takes a lot of time. It's always complicated when you first of all migrate to a new platform, but you're also in the middle of the transition, so you're supporting both. But it's mainly, we think we can have the gameplay experience be very similar, but obviously the next gen stuff will look much better, and there are some features that we can exploit within the ecosystem of the next gen consoles that we can't exploit in the current gen. I'm really proud of the plot, how it develops and how it goes from this sort of domestic and the things that you're familiar with into something really, really epic, and how all of that develops as you play through the game. That's going to be really strong.